What's up, everybody, and welcome to another impromptu AMA. We've had two this week. We're gonna start doing a lot more AMAs, covering projects that we like and that ultimately support EMP. So today I'm joined by one of my dearest friends in crypto. We'll start with a bit of an introduction of who he is. Eco Stint. He has been a long time uh, helper of mine. A lot of you know and love LA. He is essentially my LA on the Hive blockchain. And together over the last, man, I don't know, what, 5 years probably, Eco? We've been building an incredible ecosystem, and he helps me manage all that. And now I really wanted to take the opportunity today to get all of you involved in Hive. So I know a lot of you have followed my Splinterlands journey. Obviously, Eco's been a big part of that with me, but Eco is a talented project lead himself and has been developing some really cool new tools as well as onboarding techniques through gaming, and that's what we're going to talk about specifically today. But to get people involved in Hive, and again, I know a lot of you are familiar with Hive. Maybe you haven't taken the dive into it. Well, today we're going to show you an easy way to do it without having to worry about 10 different wallets and the undertaking of going to a brand new chain. And we're also going to show you how you can possibly earn from the game and bring those profits back to EMP to help our ecosystem. So, without further ado, Eco,
Yes.
how are you, my friend?
Yes, brother. Thank you for that great intro. And you mentioned the word ecosystem. That's something near and dear to my heart. I
Yeah, why
actually,
don't we start there? Yeah, tell us a little
yeah,
bit about you, bro. I love this. So, and
well,
your profile picture says a lot. Yeah, so
yeah, I was looking for the webcam. I lent it to my brother-in-law. He actually signed up for his bachelor's degree program in agroecological engineering. So actually, I'm proud to say I have no webcam right now up here on our farm, but you could see me there with my wife harvesting avocados with our Splinterland shirt on. That untamed Kickstarter where we got the Splinterland shirt is what bought us the land where we now grow avocados. So, like, to me, the real life and the digital technologies go hand in hand. I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense to me unless you connect these things into the real world. And I've been working a lot on that. I'm always helping. And man, you said 5 years. It might even be 5.5. I mean, we've been working together for a while. We started slow. We got to know each other,
for sure.
but just the way I work, it's synergy, man, and it's always trying to tie it back into real life, real people. Like, why does this matter in my life? And games are cool because they're fun. We work hard and we want to have fun. And unfortunately, gaming on Web3 has been kind of a letdown. Like, I'm really looking forward to HVM because it looks really awesome. But
For
like,
sure.
just generally, the competition is so boring. Splinterlands, I think, got it right. 2-minute games, 2-minute matches. You could play like in your free time, but still, like, now with land and survival mode and hopefully some more stuff. I want PvP. I want to shoot him in the head. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, so this
Totally.
game, we got a game, and you don't need a wallet. You don't need it. You register with email, and we're going to talk you through that at the end. But basically, sign up if you have fun. And then there's some reward options. You decide. Like, do you want to learn more? Do you want to get a wallet? We have some
Yeah.
super simple options, but the first thing is sign up, see if it's fun. And there's in-game bounties. There's plenty to do. We took a method. We actually built this game in just 2 months with a friend of mine. It was his idea. His name is HT, Hive Trending, and kind of a quiet guy, developer guy, but I made friends with him, and he said this idea to me. It was so brilliant. He said, let's fork. It's really a fork of an open source clone of O Game. I don't know if anybody out there knows about O Game, but I played in high school. It's PvP. It's real time. It's social. You got to make alliances. You got to figure it out. It's mobile friendly already, and so we were starting with something that was already well balanced. I think the original game came out in 2002, and so it's got 23 years of open source, like kind of community stuff. Our game's a little different. I like to think it's the best version of O game that's currently live, but you could play, and we've got 292 players already. There's a space. There's 900 solar systems, and 13 planets per solar system. So there's a lot of space for players still, and it's free. It's free. It doesn't cost anything to get started. And if you're having fun, well, let's walk you towards on-chain rewardification. Okay, so am I hitting the right notes, AJ? I mean,
Yes, Ego, I love it, bro. Yeah, you're getting me excited. Again, we wanted to kind of lay the groundwork before we got started, but yeah, the long story short is again, we're coming up with really cool ways to like Ego said, make it fun to interact with these new chains. And this moon game has been a perfect fit for that. And it's been something on my mind a while. Obviously we did onboard a lot of the EMP community to Hive and Splinterlands, especially with our EMP character, Elias Max Pruitt, one of the best cards in the game in the current meta. So, but if you guys weren't involved in that, or maybe you're new to EMP, this is going to be a great way to get involved. And really, when we're pull up this, we'll go through everything. And I know people are asking questions as well, so please feel free to do that. We'll do Q&A at the end. And I'll share my screen here in 1 minute. But one more thing before we jump in, I wanted to just talk a little bit more about Hive Eco. I know both of us are so bullish on this ecosystem, and unfortunately, because you do have to download a wallet, and we're making many things easier now for people to onboard. But do you want to just give a real quick overview of what Hive is and why it's been such a game changer in terms of being rewarded for creating content, how we've been able to build a really great revenue stream over there, for what we're doing, and how I think the potential is still huge because there really isn't a lot of users on Hive compared to the overall crypto market. So you just want to talk a little bit about that? Go ahead, man.
yeah, absolutely. I was linking my YouTube for the comments. I linked the wrong YouTube channel. So if anyone's watching the chat, Quinta Esencia Taller, that's me. That's me
Okay,
trying to type
perfect.
in with you guys. That's a Spanish YouTube channel though. So I'll try to fix that. Okay, so Hive though, what is Hive? I love Hive. It's one of my, I would say, top three blockchains. I'm into tech. I'm a tech guy. I'm an open source guy. I like to use things that work. I believe in the technology. Obviously, avoid scams, educate yourself. Like there's a lot of scams out there, especially in Latin America where I work, and try to we focus on sustainable development. And I guess Quintesencia is just a good place to start. It's our NGO. This is our non-governmental organization. It's a corporation that shares its profit back into the social objective, which is among education and environmental sustainability, applied and appropriate technologies. This was founded in 2012, and I was already talking about applied and appropriate technologies. When I discovered Steam, to me, it was a great hosting platform. I had been paying money to host my website. Um, but the coolest thing about Hive is not Steam. Steam kind of was cool, um, but Hive forked the founders. This is so cool. This is like Bitcoin level, guys. Like every crypto project has like these big founder bags, and like, I go to these conventions. I was just in Guadalajara last week, and like, it weighs heavy on you. Like you really need to trust who's in charge, and that's just life. But like in terms of decentralization, Hive forked the founders. They didn't give them any tokens, and so it's really a decentralized tech stack. I'm starting to get to the point where I don't even like to say Hive. Like, it's like, do we talk about JavaScript? Is your app built in Mongo or Postgres? Like, who cares what the tech stack is? But on a certain level, Hive, I believe in it. I believe that if like Bitcoin, unless Satoshi shows up again, like there's something powerful about nobody being in charge. Yes, there's some bigger people than others, and so maybe the rules that they try to make are a little more important, or the culture that they try to set has a little more weight, but nobody's in charge, and I like that. So that's just a little bit about Hive. But really, I'm trying to build cool things so that people can kind of forget about the back end stuff. At the end of the day, in the next 5 or 10 years, I think blockchain is going to be a thing that everything uses it where it's appropriate in some level. And so, you
for sure.
know, we'll have multi wallets that in my big three are Bitcoin, Hive, and Monero. Monero is privacy. That's an important layer for some things. And so there's some other ones I use, Litecoins, and there's some interesting layer two stuff on Ethereum. Definitely, we're into the Miria for sure for gaming, and but as I branch, it's all very experimental, and so, but like on a tech level, I love Bitcoin, Hive, Monero, and from that's kind of my base, and then I kind of go out from the base, investing the pennies, not the pension.
For sure, bro. Yeah, absolutely, Joe. I love it, man. And we're on the same page. Again, I think, you can have the best tech in the world, and I've said this many times, but unless you have users and adoption, it doesn't matter. And what I really love about Hive, again, regardless of the tech, is that you're actually incentivized to interact with the chain. Again, a lot of the new projects are going this route, especially Sonic. That's another reason why I'm so bullish on Sonic is that they're actually rewarding part of the gas fees to their developers and users through the initial airdrop. But yeah, I mean, again, I don't know if you want to add to that.
Yes, I
Yeah, go
do,
ahead.
because I totally forgot. I missed that part. So what is cool about this tech? And it's precisely that, the incentives. And just when you say Sonic, and me and you how we work, like I pretty much don't pay attention to anything except what I'm already in.
For
And
sure.
because it's, just because I'm good at what I do. But like when you say that this other chain, Sonic or Project Sonic, is starting to reward people, they're going in the right direction. So what Hive does is it takes I believe it's 25% and does pay the node validators, the miners, so to speak, but it takes that other 75% and it divides it up into incentive structures, incentives for actually participating in governance, and incentives for anything. I mean, it's content on a certain extent. One of the biggest apps in the beginning from the Steemit days was blogging, but more and more, I was in Guadalajara, and the Distriator app is rewarding using stable coins at businesses. They're incentivizing businesses to accept stable coins, and they're incentivizing customers to use stable coins. So yes, that's content, but I mean, we can incentivize everything, and incentives are powerful. Now, not every incentive is smart or good, but iterating, that's what this technology is about. It's a decentralized layer for iterated incentivization. Whoa.
Yeah, totally, totally. I mean, again, it's even being in crypto for 10 plus years now. Steam, which you mentioned earlier, which is what Hive was forked from. Honestly, it really got me down the crypto rabbit hole, and no other protocol or chain has really been able to do what they have accomplished. And I think it's just a sleeping giant because, again, it incorporates blockchain technology. The whole universal basic income type of mindset, and the social aspect because again, not many blockchains have been able to really incorporate social fi, and Hive is like the founding father of SocialFi. So yeah, again, it's just to bring a lot of awareness to Hive. Again, introduce Eco. You may be seeing more of him. We're gonna be doing a lot more podcasts together
More
as we go. Yeah.
podcasts.
For sure, man, and yeah, we'll plug your channel too at the end here. But all right, why don't we go ahead and open? Well, first of all, was there anything else you want to add? We're gonna after that we'll open up this. Speaking of Hive, the Hive post that really goes into detail about what Moon is.
Yeah, why don't you open it up? I'll just bridge you right over because basically it's free and it's fun. And so here, I believe AJ is going to look at the
Perfect.
guide. We've got a little get start guide if anyone that hasn't played the game before. I mean, it was popular for a web game years ago, but I mean, a lot of our players have not played before. It's not hard, but it is complex. It's not complicated. It's complex. There's a lot of moving parts.
For
You're
sure.
going to want to start by building your minds, but it's again, it's free. No pressure. But if you're having fun, if you're getting started, you say, "Hey, this could actually kind of be fun. I can check on my phone while I'm in the bathroom. Click, click, click. A couple of clicks. Check it a couple times a day. That's all it really is. But it's got deep strategy. It's a real time PvP and social strategy game. You're building your space empire. And just to bridge that from the incentivization, our first mission dropped, and we're going to have more and more different types of missions. But um, we are going to incentivize you to battle. Proof of battle. That's our first mission, and we'll have proof of colony and proof of many things. Proof of maybe diplomacy, proof of alliances, and we'll be able to incentivize different game actions at different times, and eventually leading up to proof of moon. Anyone who knows O game knows that moon making moons is a really late game important item that unlocks jump gates and all sorts of special sensors, and it's really the best thing in the game. You can't buy it. You can only earn it, as it were. And so yeah, let's just start. If you want to start, I'll mute myself, but I'll jump in anytime. If you got a question for me, we got a
Yeah.
get start guide. I'll share it in the YouTube chat right now as you go through.
All right, perfect, brother. So yeah, this is the update again, or the update. This is the article that outlines it, and we'll post all the chat, all the links in the chat. This is going to be a video. I'll just have it running in the background too. That gives you a little bit of idea of the interface. But like Eco said, it's basically a interplanetary domination type game, and it sounds a little more complicated than it really is. And it's just fun. You build up your troops, you build up your resources, you attack other players. You have to have some defenses, to help keep your resources. And depending on the amount of points that you get over a season, will qualify you for the leaderboard, and that's how rewards are paid. And again, you can choose to play completely for free. And if you devote enough time to it, you can still get to the leaderboard as well. So it's really cool. This is the first season. There'll be multiple seasons. I guess we can start with that. I know it launched on the 19th, so but it doesn't matter essentially when the season starts. You can
Well,
still
it
right.
may
Go ahead. Do
even
you want
be
to talk about that?
better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So it may even be better that you start now a few days late. The thing is, first of all, there are already some of the first wave of players are inactive. So you're going to build up your minds a little bit. And the first thing you'll be able to get to unlock is a shipyard, and you'll get like a small cargo. And so on the first wave, it's very competitive, and people get the light fighter and they start bashing each other right away. And this game has integrated a noob protection. So, kind of like the first wave of the most excited players, they can attack you. You can kind of build in peace. And some of the players are inactive, and you can send your small cargo and just yoink some of their resources for free. And so, it's actually a really great time to get started. The end of season rewards are not only based on the leaderboard, they're going to be based on other things.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
And if the current leaderboard, I'll just mention, I'm in 12th place. I haven't put any money in. There is, you can buy officers, you can do a few things, but I just through good gameplay and being active, and that's kind of, my idea was that I wouldn't, even though I'm excited about it, but I'm the admin too. So like, I'm just kind of playing my game and just testing. Like I'm kind of the yardstick, an active player that signed up the first day. Um, I'm in 12th place out of 290. So some people have paid some money, they're lower than me. Some people have paid some money, they're definitely higher than me. The top 2, 3 guys, but they can't even. I think one of them or two of them can't even attack me, much less new players. So
For
there's a
sure.
nice new protection. It's a really balanced game, I think. And the people that do send in the pizza tokens to buy officers, they're just filling the reward pool for the rest of us, and they know that they're just having fun. Some people have fun by spending $100, and that's cool. Um, Mostly I think they're motivated that that reward pool would get juicy, and we'd use this cool opportunity to invite new people. Not everybody that signs up with email needs to join Hive. No pressure. But I do think it's an easy way to say, like, okay, I'm having fun. There's $1 sitting there for me. Like, maybe I should figure out this Hive keychain?
Yeah, absolutely, brother. And that's the beauty of the setup is, we're dangling that carrot in front of people to get involved. So yeah, I love it. All right, awesome. That answered a lot of the initial questions. And again, we can do like an actual tutorial on this if you guys are interested. I'm sure Iko would be happy to come back and do a specific like walkthrough gameplay. And I think you even have some of that on your channel already. It might be this video we're watching now as the header, but so just bear with us. This is just kind of a high level overview and to introduce this. But all right, so again, when you log into the game, you start building some of your resources, a solar plant, an ore extractor, a silicon refiner, and a uranium centrifuge. Tell us a little bit about pizza bits and how that plays into the game. Because the in-game currency is pizza, and what how does that relate? So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so yeah, pizza has been a community on Hive for years, maybe even since Steam days. It's a community for just kind of everybody loves pizza, but like things you would do when you watch pizza, movies, games, music. It's kind of an open, fun, loving community. And in late January, early February, I got in touch with HT. He's the lead. The other founder of pizza has kind of taken a break, and so HT's not a real like outgoing guy. He's more the developer kind of guy, and we just got to talking. I did the math. It's got a tight tokenomics, and when he suggested this game, I did my magic and I said, there's a real cool opportunity here. Like this token has a lot of Hive power backing it. We can incentivize gameplay already, and we can channel maybe some excitement into growing our stake on the Hive blockchain and incentivizing more and more types of playing. So the original O game has dark matter. We just skinned it to pizza bits. So if you send one pizza, you get 10 pizza bits in the game. They can be used in the officer tab. They can get it. You can get officers to give you like, percentage bonuses or 24-hour bonuses. If you're going to attack somebody, big attack, you can get a 24-hour bonus to make sure you kind of win. All the attacks are dice rolls. So the O game battle generator is a really cool. I need to do a video about that. And I will get soon. I will grab that YouTube link. I'll put it right here. I wasn't able to share the link in the YouTube comments. It has throttled my ability to share the link, but we'll get it in the description. Um, so what is Pizza Bits? First of all, you don't need to buy them. They're discoverable in expeditions. That's maybe a week or two, maybe a week and a half in. You'll probably start unlocking the ability to get expedition technology. You'll need a research base, and you'll need, I think, Impulse Engine 2 or 3. Anyways, about 10 or 2 weeks in, you'll get expedition technology. You can send your ships instead of PvP, you can kind of PvE, player versus enemy, and you can go on expeditions. You can find pizza bits there. Also, a lot of our bounties include pizza bits in game, so you can buy these officers again without spending any money.
Perfect. Yeah, no, great overview. And again, I just wanted to make a few points too. And I highlighted this if you guys want to go to Discord hive/hive pizza. That's another great way to kind of get involved in the community. But what's really cool about pizza and honestly about everything on Hive is and I said that that Hive's kind of one of the OGs. And it really is because these were the original memes. I mean, people are able to create tokens based on a community or a fun idea and actually monetize that through Hive. And it actually has utility and use case behind it. So tokens like pizza, I mean, there's one up is another one that is
Yeah.
gaming focused community. I look at them as kind of the better version of memes. Eco, what do you think of that whole concept? Again, I know everybody wants to have the next big meme token, but doesn't have the economics or anything to support it. But if you launched on Hive, you could monetize a community around it. So yeah, I think again, just some cool things that people don't really think about or realize.
One of the coolest things I've seen is people monetizing their confusion. If they don't understand something, they might ask a question and then they get that question gets a vote. You start earning tokens for not knowing the answer, like for not knowing.
Yes, brother.
And I
Totally.
love that. And just if some of your community have been into the Splinterlands thing, this is the same wallet. You can, and again, start with your email. But if you're starting to have fun, you can go find that old wallet and you can use that to validate your Hive account and earn rewards on the same wallet as Splinterlands. Splinterlands has a number of these tokens, including their SPS, the probably the biggest token on the Hive Engine protocol in Hive. And Splinterlands players create posts and they earn through the Hive incentivization, methodology, that mechanism where we can incentivize anything. And so we're just continuing to experiment on that and iterate. And I'm having such a good time doing it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, totally, brother. No doubt. So, all right. So we talked a little about resources. Let's talk a little bit about the expansion and how we're able to earn more points. Through combats. I mean, you touched on a little bit, but the shipyard builds your ships. The research lab will give you, more research points, and then the robot factory, I guess, is helping you expand and construct things faster. So, you want to touch
Yeah.
on any of those? Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I want to touch now. First of all, if you get in the game, there's a technologies tab. And that technology tab is going to show you all the tech tree. So, for example, a lot of new players will say, well, I don't see the ship here. How do I build it? You need 2 levels of the robot factory. And there are no limits to the levels of buildings, but they scale. The cost and the time to build them scale. And so, Robot Factory is one of the first buildings that's going to lower the time down. It actually, the time to build the buildings is, whatever the base time is divided by your level of robot factory. So by building, eventually you'll need to get the uranium first, but eventually you'll build those 2 levels of robot factory and your buildings will go fast again. You'll find out like as you get started, things go pretty fast and then it kind of slows down. You got to wait for the more resources to get up and you'll be mining more, but you'll be clicking less. And so it kind of eases it in to where you don't need to be spending all day on this. You just say, okay, I can log in 10 hours or 12 hours. And another thing I want to mention is combat. Like we're going to get into combat here soon. It takes time for your ships to go where they're going, and it takes longer to get one solar system away than 100 solar systems. So one of the things you'll do, because you're saving your resources up, you don't want to just leave them on your planet. What you'll do is you'll send your ships kind of far away. You'll say, oh, I'm not going to be, I got to sleep. I can't log in every couple hours. So what you'll do is you'll just design a mission. You'll send your ships and they'll arrive back in 12 hours or 24 hours when you're going to be back online again.
Yeah, no, I love it, and this is just I was scrolling back up to see, the screen because yeah, all this is in there too, and you can really, like you said, plot it out, based on their availability, so, alright, awesome, that was that, let me go back to, what was next here, hang on, oh, the research lab, so, yeah, I guess talk a little bit about that, and then, um, also maybe how this plays into actually earning and forgive me, but I don't even know the answer to this. What is the determining factor on how to get higher on the leaderboard? Is it the amount of resources you have? Is it the amount of people you kill? Is it all of the above? Maybe go into that.
Amazing. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, research. There are many types of research, and you will need different levels of different ones to advance. The shipyard requires two levels of a building, but beyond that, most things are going to require you to unlock and research, spend the resources and time to achieve a level of different researches. There are three engine types: the combustion engine, the impulse engine, the hyperspace drive. There are spy technology, which is going to affect how much your spy goes. There's passive bonuses, fuel research, mineral research. There's all sorts of stuff, and different ships, different buildings are going to require different levels, and you can see all that in the technology tab. Now, what are points? Okay, now your minds, you're going to want to start there and probably focus there for the first couple days as you explore the tabs, kind of plot out your plan. But mines are always going to be important. They produce resources, but resources need to be spent to be converted into points. Points are every 1,000 resources. Now we're talking about the metal, the silicon, or the uranium. Every 1,000 spent is a point. So as you get started, it'll take you a couple buildings to get the first point. But for example, after a week, a building might be worth 25 points or 50 points. Um, Now, buildings and research can never be taken away. They're fixed. Nobody can, they can attack you all they want. Your buildings will never go down. But your defenses and your fleet are, they're fragile. They can be attacked, and you can also attack and, get ACS defended, or they can build some defense, and you can lose your ships. And so those points will go away. And so those are kind of two types of points. There's some fixed points in the economy and in the research. And then there's some points, ships can be quite profitable if you don't make a mistake.
Perfect. Awesome, brother. Yeah. Well, and again, I mean, it may take a few seasons to really get to be an expert at this, but that's the fun about it. I mean, again, you're learning a new skill, you're having fun, you're playing, you're experimenting on a new blockchain, and you're earning. So, all right. So we talked about combat and defense a little bit. I guess just maybe touch a little bit more on like the defense system. Obviously, we can send our ships out to battle to steal rewards from other people, but how do we prevent that from happening to us? Because I know I always hated that when yeah, you wake up and you got obliterated because somebody attacked you overnight. Yeah.
Excellent. So defense, I really like how defense is set up. And as you get the shipyard, the first thing you'll be able to build is the basic defense, the missile launcher, and it only costs it's 2 points in metal, 2,000 metal, and you'll want to build those up. Now, generally, people will attack you if it's profitable to do so. So if you have a few missile launchers, that should protect whatever resources your buildings produce. Um, a fleet that is attacking you will usually spy on you first, and then they'll send a fleet. It could take 2 or 3 hours to get to you, maybe a little more if they're far away. But you just can't log in every 2 or 3 hours. So As you build up your mines, that increases you kind of your passive production. You're going to need to build up those defenses just to make sure it's never profitable, attractive to attack you. But even if it is, defenses, unlike fleet, once a ship dies, it turns into debris. You can harvest the debris with a ship called recyclers. But defense actually has a chance to respawn. So even if you do get attacked, there's a 70% chance that's rolled on each of your defense. Let's say you have 10. The odds are you get 7 of them to respawn, but it could be 6, but it could be 9. And so defenses are a little more hardy that way. It's not a full lose all your defense, be unprotected. You'll get a 70% respawn on your defense. And I would just say don't worry too much about it. Everybody will probably get attacked at one point or another and do some attacking. I would say get, one or two up and then kind of, every time you get your building built and you got a little extra metal, you get that light laser, you get a few more, just kind of make sure you're building those up with your mines. And there's quite a few higher level defense as well as you move into the game. And we did talk about the noob protection. Maybe we didn't dive too deep into it, but just know that even though you're starting late, most of the players in the game will not be able to attack you for quite a long time because they're just kind of like they're one level ahead and they will not be able to dip back and attack noobs until like 5,000 points, which nobody's achieved yet. Probably won't until at least another week.
For sure. Yeah, no, I love it. And again, it's all based on play strategy too. I know, a lot of players like to be more aggressive, so they are attacking, scouting, attacking, but others like to kind of turtle up and just, focus on their resources and defense. So it really
Let
just
me
depends
say,
on yeah, good.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, turtling is a viable strategy. Turtling is a totally viable strategy. There are multiple viable strategies. If you're a turtle, be a turtle. If that's how if you're having fun, do that. And what you'd want to focus on moving forward, just keep your defenses high comparatively to your minds. But focus on colonies because as you get expedition technology research levels, you can get that colony ship and you can get more planets. And so build your empire. You don't need to attack anyone or even get attacked. It's not required.
perfect. All right, awesome. All right, I know you mentioned a lot of this already. We already talked about the ACS and intercepting the fleet. I don't know if there's anything you want to add to in terms of raids, ACS, or the fleet before we get into a little more advanced tactics.
Yeah, I feel like if it is a little bit maybe a more advanced, and we could have another podcast on that. But basically, you can team up. You can send 10 players can send ships to attack one guy, and similarly, a guy who's coming to attack might face defenders. You could send your ships to kind of monitor or float around the planet, waiting for an attacking fleet. You can surprise them, ambush them. 10 players. I think actually the limit is 16 for both of these. But multiple people in an alliance can team up to do things way above their level, so to speak.
Yeah, no, I love this, and this is something that in the one of the original, back in without it being on Hive or any of the blockchain tech of this game, alliances were really important, and with EMP specifically, if you guys want to, form an alliance and talk about it in the chats, anything like that, feel free to do that and coordinate. 'Cause yeah, I think it's important, and you can probably again, I'm assuming here, but even when you create your profile, you make it even add EMP in the name, right? Eco or something like that, kind of the yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Okay, okay.
Now, if you guys have a leader that's experienced in this game, kind of a self-forming type thing, an alliance can be created. It's free. Again, somebody just has to take the initiative. But username on Hive has nothing to do with username in the game. So you could choose any username you like. If you want to signal EMP Warriors, well then that's totally cool. You can whatever you guys do, but it is cool. We don't require you to display your Hive account in the game.
All right, perfect, bro. All right, so we talked about pretty much everything: combat, alliances, tactics. Again, we can go through and do a legitimate like walkthrough and play. This today was just meant to introduce it, but I do want to talk about one last thing, and that is the moons. I know again this is an addiction for me in the original game. I was just buying. I spent all my money buying moons. Is that still how that works, or what are moons? How do we get them, and what do they do? Because they're some of the graphics of them are really cool too.
Yeah, so Moon is like the best item in the game, and you can't directly buy them. They're created by crashing fleets, but some smart spreadsheet brain guys figured out the cheapest way, you might say, to get moons. It's a moonshot, and they would trade them or sell them. We actually have one guy in the game. He was a top player, and I think he said Universe 4 in the original game. He's a Polish guy, and he really is excited to sell people moons or moon shots, really, because what it is you would crash some amount of light fighters into the client's defenses, so that the debris would hopefully coalesce and form a moon. And moons are it's the best item in the game because it's the only place you can build jump gates, some special sensors where you can detect how other people's fleets are moving in the area. And also, it's just really handy strategically because instead of sending your fleet far, far away, you could actually just kind of pop it over to your moon back and forth. You have kind of this double planet, really, where you can move them back and forth in the same slot.
Awesome stuff. Cool. Yeah, no doubt. Well, and again, that's the other cool part. You can, and again, obviously be very careful, don't get scammed. But there is a way to kind of work with other people in the game
Right.
to get an advantage as well. So, all right,
Don't
awesome.
rush into this. It's not even like we're weeks away from moons being a thing. But the name of the game is Moon, and we should think about that too. The guy I'm talking about is Gerber from D
Yeah,
City.
all right. So yeah,
From D City
he's already on it, man. He's a spreadsheet guy, that's for sure. So,
for sure.
yeah. Cool, good stuff. Well, maybe again, Gerber's a talented dev too. Maybe we get like a third party marketplace for moons. So yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Love
Cool.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
something to
Awesome
think
stuff.
about as we build towards that. Because I want a moon. I'm
Yeah,
really eager to get one.
totally. Well, awesome, bro. That's kind of again a high level overview. Let me go ahead and pull up the actual sign up guide. And again, if anybody has questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll get to the questions here at the very end. But let me go ahead and pull this up. Hang on one sec.
Yeah, if you want to go to even the homepage, moon.hive.pizza,
Perfect. Yeah, this is it here.
you
Okay.
should definitely click the register link first. And we have a direct link to this page. This is the register page. This is where you would register,
Okay.
and
Yep.
uh, you can use an email. We don't really use the email for anything. You can fake it. Just don't forget your password, or you can create a new email. Like, we're not trying to email you. It's just everybody has email, and so use your email. It's mainly if you forget your password. That's what that's for. And otherwise, if you use the fake email and do forget your password, I have to do work myself as the admin to fix your password. But it's
Yeah.
not that big
Totally.
of a deal. But I know some people are weird about email in the crypto space, but it is what it is. Use a new one or use a a junk one. We don't care. We're not collecting emails.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So again, I know obviously those that don't like to KYC, you can use a burner email. But if you're new to Hive, I guess maybe we can touch on that a little bit too. Obviously, the whole conversation has been about onboarding through games like this. If they want to actually take control of their Hive keys, is that done through the email? I'm assuming they get an email for that, or what does that look
No,
like?
no.
Okay.
Once so if you have a Hive account, you have the Hive keychain. Feel free to just click on that button, and you'll validate the Hive account immediately. You can then later add a username so that you can username and password in on any device. We don't need you to do any more keys. It's not really important, except unless you're depositing or earning the rewards on chain. You'll need to use your keys for those things, but the game does not. It only requires username password, so you can put in an email there. The game came with that email, and you pick a username. And if you already got the Hive account and Hive keychain, great. If not, great. No problem. It's not hard to get the Hive keychain. It's on Google Play. It's on the App Store. I would say don't rush it, though. Don't rush it. Even if you need to go find your old Splinterlands keys, there's no rush. We'll probably talk about this over the next month or two. Play it first. I really want to emphasize this. Have fun first, guys. That's what
For
this is
sure.
about. And make an alliance. Bring your friends in and see. And then if you want to get the mission, you would do the Hive keychain, and that's on the App Store. That's the one I use. Hive keychain. That's a recommended one, the top one. There's a browser extension, or you can get the mobile app. And all you do is go into the options section of the game and you validate a Hive account. So you sign a posting key transaction. If you don't have a Hive account, there's a lot of ways to do it for free. And we can maybe touch on that in the next episode. Like I think I'm just going to insist. Play the game for a week at least. And if you're having fun and you don't have a Hive account already through Splinterlands, um, then we talk about some free options. There's a lot of them, a lot of free options. We had thought about making maybe a cheap option, like a $1 option that would provide some hand holding. The thing about blockchain is if you lose your keys, there's nobody like helping you. And it's
For
kind of
sure.
funny, you make this new wallet. Hive is different than Bitcoin. Bitcoin wallets are free, transactions cost money. Hive is backwards. Transactions are free, but the wallet costs money. So, we have this idea like key security be, but how secure are you really going to be with a $0 wallet? So there's no money on there yet. So we've been thinking about putting together kind of an easy service. Pay us $1. We'll keep your keys for you. If you ever lose them, we'll give them back to you. And if you earn $5 or $10 or $100, everybody kind of has their limit on when it becomes important. But as soon as there's like money on there, we'll teach you how to use the unique power of Hive to change your keys, but keep your same public key, which is your username. So when that level is hits for you, like, oh my gosh, $25 and these crazy guys have my keys, we'll have a tutorial for you. But to me, it's got to be at the level you care about. Like all these things need to be in the right order. The jump through 15 hoops before you can play. I think we got all those people already. Like it's
For
just
sure.
there needs to be simpler. It needs to go in the right order. So you get a Hive account. There's no money in there yet. What security? Like what am I risking here? There's no risk.
Yeah, no, I love it. And again, man, that's an onboarding. Again, we can have a whole separate video just on that alone. But that's one of the really cool things about Hive and utilizing this wallet. Again, I have it pulled up here. I had to switch to my other wallet, so I didn't dox our big one. But this is the Apiculture. Again, you can add different accounts as well. This is a Hive. We're a Hive Engine I'm sorry, yeah, Hive Engine witness for this. But anyway, the idea is that you actually are able to lock up your Hive and that then becomes hive power or HP, and then that allows you to do the transactions on the chain. So again, a dollar would give you enough resource credits, as you can see right here, to do anything you needed to do. Every action goes down, reduces those resource credits bit by bit, and you're able to vote on other content and get not only help that person get rewards, but then it's also a split. So you as a voter get rewards for curating that
Yeah,
particular post.
maybe
So
I could
yeah,
just
yeah,
jump in here.
yeah.
Like
I know it was a down and dirty. Please make that better. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, well, no, I mean, we've been explaining it to people for years. Like, I get it. And I was just in Guadalajara and I've been thinking a lot about this. I was at Talentland Expo, special invite guest, and we had a lot of fun. But, our game, the clicks in our game are not on the chain. You don't need any resource credits. In Hive accounts, because they have a cost, even though it says $0 when you make it, there's like 3 Hive locked in that account. So there's always 5 or 10 free transactions a day. You can get more Hive power to do more transactions, but you don't need it for this game. Our bounties will be claimed. So we're working on some bounties where we make the comment and beneficiary the users based on certain notifications. We're getting our webhooks into on chain. We're working on that. But our current missions, which we hope to do 2 or 3 different missions a week, but we just launched our first one. Um, all you do is make one comment. So you've played your game, you've done the clicks, you complete the mission, you go to the post, you do one comment, and then we give you all the upvotes we got. And AJ, you've been helping, you've been upvoting people on that, and you've been earning money. You've been, like you said, curating this game content, and you've been making money by helping us out to
For
vote
sure.
the users and the players. There's something socially funny. The biggest guys who are spending the most money, they're like, "Oh, I don't care about 50 cents or a dollar." And it's the little guys who haven't spent anything that are like, "Oh yeah, let me show you my battle report." And we're voting them, and it's significant. To me, I don't know. No game, free game has ever paid me 75 cents in
Yeah,
my
totally.
life. So
Yeah,
and
totally.
the other half of that 75 cents, so the $1.50, and the 75 cents goes to the player who made the comment. 75 cents goes to people like AJ who are supporting this type of content, the curators.
Yeah, no doubt. I love that system. And again, we've been powering up a bunch of high power to be able to support the guys that and gals that are doing that. So yeah, all right, man. I love it. So listen, that really came full circle. And we're right at about the 1 hour mark. So I don't want to keep you too long. I know you have fields to tend to on your beautiful property. But and I
Yes.
was getting late too. But so yeah, I don't know. There wasn't really many questions like I said, I think we did a great job doing an overview. If any of you have any last minute questions, feel free to type in the chat both on YouTube or on X. And yeah, any final words, Eco? I don't know if you want to share anything else, or this is going to be kind of a regular thing. I've been a guest on your podcast. Maybe plug that. Web3 secrets, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, go
Well,
ahead, man.
first of all, the episode we did is so good. I even took the clip. You incited me into telling my backstory, and I clipped that up for my
I
my
love
main
it.
channel is about ecological restoration. I do profitable ecological restoration as a part of sustainable development here in Colombia. That's like my main gig. That's my real life thing. But like we started this deep web 3 secrets. It's
Yeah,
on
you do the
YouTube,
voice better. I love it. Yes.
and I one of my best episodes is interviewing you. I want to get you back on, but I would be so happy to be on your show or your AMAs again. And I think there's just not a ton of questions because we nailed it, bro.
Yes, we did, man. That's a good sign on any AMA or tutorial. If you don't have any questions, that means you usually did a great job. So yes, you definitely nailed it. And again, man, appreciate all your efforts. on everything, us working together on a personal level, but more so on what you're trying to do for the Hive community. You've really stepped up over the last year. I mean, again, we've been around the block for God, I feel like the old man in crypto. 10 years for me, since I started on Steam. But yeah, I know us working together directly has been at least five. But you're really taking the initiative, and again, maybe touch on that really quick. For those that are here and familiar with Hive, with our development skills, with the development skills from the devs that you work with that are specific to Hive, we're building a lot of really cool shit that wasn't there before on Hive, and I'm super excited for that. Maybe, and you're doing that under Mithril, right? Is that what you're? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, well, we do have the Synergy Witness, the Hive block validator miner, but yeah, with Team Mithril, and you are part of Team Mithril, AJ. Like we
Yes,
just
brother.
everything came together, and like for what I'm doing here locally in Colombia, and just looking around Hive, my skill set of like synergizing with people. Um, I put together kind of a working group, and including AJ. AJ, you have had my back for for a long time at least. I mean, part of that 5 years is probably developing trust, but like for a long time now, you just said like whatever you need, like, and I just saw so many things. Most projects on Hive are always like, we want to do this big new thing. And they take a year or two, and you don't know, are they going to finish or not? Are they going to have something done? And maybe that's not just Hive, that's in kind of in the tech space. Like, they do a raise, and then years later, maybe they have something. I mean, that hurts me. I've been burned in the past. I've learned all about scams by getting scammed myself, and there's the thing where it's not like it's not a scam. That guy really tried to build something, but he just don't know what he's doing. And building is hard. And so we just started like low hanging fruit, like putting out 2 or 3 things a week, like just things that are missing, little tools that used to work, or, some guy doesn't host it anymore, and building our own stuff. And like, um, and we started synergizing with that. That was useful to people. We made more friends, and more friends you make, they say, I want to do this thing, and this game is one of them. I made a friend, and he said, I want to do this, and I said, I would love to help you. And what did I do? I just kind of recommended some things. I talked to him. I said, yeah, that's a great idea. That's not a good idea. Remember this? And he said, oh yeah, that didn't work. Okay, we won't do it that way. And oh, we need a tool. I think we're hosting the game. Team Mithra's hosting this game, but really HT is the guy. He's doing all the development. We just freed him up to do the development, and so just helping people, and putting together low hanging fruit, not some giant futuristic ideas. Which I love futuristic ideas, but somebody's got to do the low hanging fruit, and we just kind of stepped up this year with AJ's blessing, man. I don't know that I'd ever have come around to it without your powerful type of synergy yourself, man.
For sure, brother. Well, I appreciate that, man. We love to see the success of Hive and what we've done together. And for all of you that are here, obviously we're on the EMP channel. It does come back home to us. Again, things that we build. Again, that success relates to the sustainability of revenue streams and supporting EMP into the future. Even with HVM, I mean, a reason that we've gotten a lot more active on Hive again, kind of gone back to our roots, so to speak, is that's a whole new audience that we're able to bring to HVM and EMP. I've been sharing all of our AMAs over on my main account on Hive, and that's been getting a lot of great uh, momentum and interest again. So it all is self fulfilling, and yeah, man, I'm really excited for that. And it's all during the bear. Once we finally get our bull run
Right.
going, I think we could really see some momentum, right? Right,
I want to
Alex?
bring it home here. I want to bring
Yeah,
it home
bro.
here. The Hive rewards that you can earn on chain come in 50-50. Half of it comes in stake, and if you could power it down, but the other half comes in a liquid Hive dollar. You should feel free, at least with that 50%. uh, to spend that, to go and convert that to any token, whether it's through Hive Engine or through Binance, convert to Hive and withdraw to Binance, and spend that wherever you want, whether it's in your life or whether it's on another project. Um, that's your money, man. And so bring it home.
Yes, absolutely, brother. All right. Well, thank you again for your time. Thank you to all of you for tuning in. Remember, we have our normally scheduled AMA tomorrow at 6:45 p.m. Eastern, and we're gonna start doing, like I said, a little more of these impromptu AMAs in between, highlighting, not only projects like this that we're a little more directly involved in, but other projects from devs that have been around and are building for the right reasons and are here like we did yesterday. So, all right, awesome. Thank you again, my friend. Any final words before we wrap it up? Go ahead.
Fun first, then figure it out.
I love it. No truer words spoken. Again, gaming is meant to be fun. Even crypto overall, I think people get crypto is supposed to be fun. I mean, again, we're all here for the gains, but if you're just doing it miserably, it's not worth it. So I love it. Very very great input, Eco, and thanks again, brother. So all right, everyone, we will see you tomorrow for a regular AMA, and make sure if any of you have questions or anything about Moon and anything else moving forward, reach out to me on Telegram and we can point you in the right direction. So, all right. Cheers, everyone. Bye bye.